Hey guys, I'm in the kitchen this time. I'm changing it up a little bit. What I'm doing today is I'm canning ham. As some of you know, we have, my husband's unemployed. He's been unemployed since October. So we have been getting food from food banks to help supplement and keep us going. And the food banks have been absolutely wonderful. But one of the things that's happening is I have an upright freezer that's absolutely ready to burst full of food. One of those foods is ham. We get a lot of ham, a lot of chicken. So what I did, and this was a deli ham, I cut up the whole deli ham into little bite-sized pieces. Okay? What I'm doing is putting them in pint jars, because pint jars for our family is more than enough meat. There's only 3 of us. And since this will go into a recipe and it will not be like ham slices fried. It'll be diced ham into some kind of recipe, ham and bean soup, whatever it turns out to be. So what I'm doing is filling my pint jars with diced deli ham, and there's no rocket science to this. Let's see if I can get this. I just put it in, push it down, add some more. I don't know how long my battery's going to last. I'm going to have to change out my batteries here. But I'm just filling it up, pushing it down, and you see my jars are fairly full. The reason I'm doing that is because this will shrink in the jar as it's processing. So I want my jars fairly full. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of water to each one of these. I do not need to add salt because ham is plenty salt enough. And you hear that? I'm pushing down. I can hear the water in this ham. It's amazing. But what I'm trying to do is get enough pints to run the canner at least 1 full time with this ham. And then I have this small, it's a fully cooked ham. I'm going to process that one as well. And it may not fill up the canner. And it's probably going to be a little different than this one. And we do fry those up, but we're getting so much meat, which is shocking, that I'm going to process it because I don't want to abuse the system, number one, by wasting. If you're doing any food pantry and you're wasting the food you're getting, shame on you. Let's not waste. Let's learn to preserve our food so that it feeds us longer, so that when we do get back on our feet, we will have a nice emergency supply of food, or we have, like this ham. Okay, my battery did die. I thought I had a few more minutes to at least get these jars filled and to get back to y'all. But basically what I'm telling you is do not, if you're utilizing a food bank, plan your meals around the food you're getting. Do not waste the food, because you know you may need it someday. And this ham was so big, it was probably a 5-pound ham or more, and there's no way we could have eaten it in one meal, number one. And I was worried that if we did open it after we defrosted it, that it would go bad. So instead of allowing meats to go bad, can those meats up. So I'm going to get my rims wiped on these jars, and then we're going to put the lids on and get them in the canner. Canning ham is easy, guys. I'm going to put a scoop of hot water in my cans. My kitchen's an absolute mess, but that's okay. I don't want a lot of water because the ham is full of water, but I do want my meat to have some cover once they cook down. You see, it's just a little bit of water, and it's trickling down. That's actually almost too much water, because I think the ham's going to put off quite a bit of water as well. We just want a little bit to top off these. We're not topping them off, just to add a little bit of liquid, because then the ham's going to add the rest of the liquid. It's not taking much water at all. These jars are really, really full. But again, they're going to shrink. Everything in these jars are going to shrink. And I think this one's way too full, so we're going to dump some of that out. A little bit more. There we go. I feel better about that now. Now I'm going to wipe my jars, put my seals on. Never forget to wipe those rims. And I just use my water that my lids are heating up. My lids are back there heating up. Let me get a light on. There we go. My canner is hot and ready to go. So that's ready. I just got to get these ready to have a lid added to them. You just don't want any meat or debris on where your seal's going to sit. You don't want any grease or anything like that. All right. And you know what I forgot to do? Get my canning kit out. So let's see if we can. My kitchen's an absolute disaster right now. Oh, there's my canning kit. I keep everything together so that I have it. Here's the bane of a food bank. Look at all this. Donuts, more donuts, bagels, bread. Fresh produce is few and far between, unfortunately. And that's one of the reasons I'm gaining so much weight, is because I'm eating what we're getting from the food bank. Oh. I can't get into anything here. There we go. Now we're going to get our lids. They're nice and hot. And we're going to put them on our jars. And it's that simple, guys. And I still have more ham to process, but I wanted to get the first batch in because this can be cooking in the pressure canner while I'm, oh, there was two stuck together. While I'm working on the other ham, this can be already pressure canning. The only thing left to do is to get these rings on and get them in the canner. And you're going to hand tighten your rings. Right now I'm just getting them on there. I'm not even tightening them. They will get hand tightened as soon as I go to drop them in the canner. There we go. Someone asked me about why don't I chase yard sale cans. One, they're few and far between, and I really don't have the money to be yard selling. Two, you never know if somebody's damaged the jar. And when the jars get damaged, even a minor damage, once they go under pressure in a pressure cooker or canner, you have the risk of losing your food. To me, it's too high of a risk to play with. So unless I know the person was a dedicated canner and they valued their jars and they took care of them, I don't want used jars. I want to buy jars as I can afford them, and I've been doing that, and use my own jars, because I know when my jars are emptied, they get washed, sterilized, and they go back in a case that they came out of. That way there are less risks of dings and damage to the jar. Alright, I'm going to finish tightening my jars and get them in the canner. I'll be right back. Okay, the canner is filled, and we got 6, 7, I think 8 pints in the canner. And we used up what was in here. I was able to fill another jar to top off the canner. The only thing left to do is get the heat up, and the heat's coming up as we speak. The next thing I got to do is line my arrows up on my canner, and it goes right like that. See how that just settles in there? See, if it's off, it's going to be off. But just by a little twist, now it sits right where it's supposed to. And all I got to do now is just, I can't do it one-handed, but I got to pull these tabs together, and I can't do it one-handed. Take this off because this comes in later, and I'm going to lock this down, put it under pressure. I'll bring you back when we're under pressure, and basically what I'm going to do is let this vent for 10 minutes once we build some steam, and then we'll go under pressure. I'll bring you back for the process, but I got to lock this down. It takes 2 hands. I'll be back in a few minutes when we get to that next point. Okay guys, while I was out picking the tomatoes, the timer ran out, so we're definitely a good 10 minutes in, and I put my jiggle, they call it a jiggler, mine never jiggles, I don't know why, but it never has. But what I do now is watch my pressure. It is starting to rise. When I get to 10 pounds, I've already started turning my heat back because we had really a lot of pressure already building in this before this was even put on. So I reduced my heat already, but as you can see, my pressure is climbing. And we need to get to 10, which is where this needle will go straight up. And that'll be 10 for me. We get to 10, then we set, because they're pint jars, we're going to set the timer for 75 minutes. And that will hold true as long as you do not lose pressure. If you go below 10, or whatever your pressure is for your given area, you're going to need to start over. So I literally camp in my kitchen. And I don't go far. I don't walk away from the house. I don't even go out in the garden while I'm running the canner under pressure. And we're still gaining pressure, so we're getting there. Alright, I'll come back in a little bit. Okay guys, I am well over the poundage that I need. So I have started turning the heat back. As you can see, this thing's actually rocking a little bit. Now, as the pressure comes down, that rocker stops. So, the pressure has come down a little bit. My heat is now down to just a little bit between low and medium. And we're going to bring this down, but we can set our timer now. As long as this does not come over, yeah, 55. I can go up to 7. So it's an hour and 15 minutes on your timer. And that'll give us 75 minutes of pressure canning the ham. Alright guys, we'll bring you back when the ham's done. In the meantime, I'm working on spaghetti sauce. Hey guys, my timer just went off. The ham has been processed as long as it needs to. At this point, all I do is turn my burner off. That's it. I don't move my pot. I don't do anything. I let the pot depressurize on its own. And that's for safety reasons. I don't mess with any of it. But I have to tell you, one of the spaghetti sauce jars has pinged. It must be this one right here. This one here is already pinged. So that's good. Look at my kitchen. Oh my God, I have counter space again. Yes, I even cleaned up all the bread products and the donuts and the goodies. It's all cleaned up. This is the last set of ham that's ready to go through the process. And my next job is I'm going to get ready to set up for dinner. But I've been going all morning, so I'm actually getting tired. I'm going to go sit down. I know how many labels I need that say ham on them. And I know how many I need that say spaghetti sauce. So I'm going to go sit and make up some labels. And then tonight we're having ham and bean soup, and I'm using Great Northern beans tonight. So that's going to be our meal. And I'll bring you that process as well, because I'll be doing it in the electric pressure cooker. It's the only way I like cooking any longer. But just to give you an idea, this was so cluttered and dirty. I've wiped everything down. I got some bananas, some peppers, some other peppers. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those. I might just toss them to the chickens. These are some jalapenos we got yesterday. I might dry those. I don't cook a whole lot with jalapeno. I got a bucket full ready for the chickens. All my dishes are done. These are Dollar Tree baskets. This is what I use to go collect my produce. It's a nice big basket. It holds a lot of tomatoes and a whole lot of greens. So that's usually what I'm collecting. But as you can see, I'm getting control back of my space. This is my space, my kitchen. So I'm real happy about that. And as soon as I take the ham out of the pressure cooker, I will let you all know. And then I have to run another batch right there. So that's going to be about an hour or so. And I'll bring you back for the final product. Okay guys, the canner has depressurized. I am now going to take my ham. Oh, let me fix my towel over here. There we go. Now I'm going to take my ham and get that transferred out of the canner. Oh, look at the color there. Now there may have been some smoke. I didn't check for smoked ham in the label. If it was smoked, that would explain the color. But you can see I have plenty of broth in these, which was one of my major concerns. Looks really nice. Now I want to hear the pings. Would love to hear some pings on my jars. Oh, did you hear that? Two went off almost exactly the same time. Yay. Looks like this will be a success. I'm not too worried about the color of the ham at all because this is all going to go in recipes, so it really won't matter. And the nice thing is the water, there goes another one. The water that's in these jars are going to be full of ham flavoring. So it'll be perfect for ham and bean soup, which is what we're having for dinner tonight. But I won't be opening these jars. I have the ham for tonight actually set aside already. And I have room here for 3 more jars. There goes another ping. Gotta love it when they ping. I tell you what, as a couple years ago as a new canner, I begged for that sound. Now as in a seasoned canner, I just get excited. I get so happy to hear that. There goes another one. It's another ping of success. And that's how I look at that. Now I'm going to add my last 3 jars, and I'm going to space them out. I don't like canning with just a few jars. I really don't. But those are the last jars of the ham. And we'll have cleaned 2 hams out of the freezer. And next week I'll probably do some more because I believe I have like 6 of those small hams in there. I'm going to can them all up because this was super easy. In fact, I'm really regretting not having more ham out of the freezer today. But to be honest with you guys, I'm tired. So I'll be glad to get this one done and just get done for the day because I still have to clean up my canner and stuff tonight. Because it's, you know, when I'm doing canning, I try and clean up after myself. My husband and my granddaughter, they clean up after dinner. I cook it, they clean it up. That's our house rule. So, we'll go from there. Alright, I'm going to get this guy going and get done for the night. As we're talking here, I'm uploading videos so I can piece all this together. I've done a lot today. I've recorded a lot today. I just hope I don't mess it all up when it's upload time. Alright guys, but that's the canned ham. Final result is a lot of color in there. And the jars are pinging, which means they're sealing. So, yay, success. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to go sit down while this one processes. My back's hurting. My feet are sore. I'm tired. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Don't forget, like and share if you are enjoying the videos.